actually sitting in Long Beach, California at my son's college campus while he does orientation. So this is kind of a strange day to be filming. It's even weirder to be sitting in this empty space. Like, it's almost more awkward to be filming in a quiet place than it is in a semi-busy one, because it's really obvious what you're doing to anyone who passes by, because it's just you and them. So would I call this a self-care day? Probably not. I would never schedule several hours of driving for myself for a self-care day, but I am making the best of the day that it is. I brought my drawing book and I'm working on an exercise in there transcribing a Van Gogh drawing. I have my computer to do a little bit of work. I have my book, I have my notebook, and it should be a good, quiet day. Back when my son was little, I used to love taking him to fencing lessons and robotics meets, because those were times when, while he was doing other things, I just could sneak a little bit of time for myself. And this feels a bit like that, even though he is much older now and I have a lot more freedom over my own schedule. This feels a little bit like those old times. In the interest of exploring and finding a little bit of air conditioning, I walked across campus from the student union to the library. I spent quite a while working on a video about happiness, which, if everything goes according to plan, you'll have already seen by now. The floor I decided to sit on is the quiet floor, so it is unnaturally still here. I couldn't resist exploring the stacks. There's nothing quite so wonderful as the smell of a library and the sight of all of those books in the library stacks. Even if it wasn't really a self-care day before, these hours in the library honestly might have made it into one. As I've been walking around campus today, I've been thinking about things that have come to mind over the past week or so that aren't really a full video's worth of content, but that I've still wanted to talk about. And one of those things is about being triggered. And I know I did a whole video about being triggered already, and I will put that up there, but I got triggered worse than I have been in a long time yesterday. I was sitting in the pharmacy waiting to pick up a prescription, and I read something that set me off. And I'm not going to go into detail about what it was, because I don't want to re-trigger myself right now and I don't feel ready to talk about it. But I read something that set me off, and I found myself sitting in the pharmacy having a panic attack, having to go through all of my techniques to control my anxiety, being on the verge of tears. And then when it resolved, because I do have the techniques to get past that initial freak out now, when it passed, for the whole rest of the day yesterday, I was just on edge. All day long, I felt like I was right on the brink of tears. Just about anything would set me off. I would get annoyed easily, angry easily, frustrated easily. Nothing was quite right all day. And it's been a while since that happened to me, and I guess it just served as a reminder that no matter how well you're doing, how far you think you've come, PTSD and complex PTSD can take you by surprise. Anxiety, depression, those things can hit you when you're not really expecting them to. And I don't know if it's ever going to be gone all the way. When I say that I might have CPTSD forever, that doesn't scare me as much as it once might have, because my hair, oh my gosh, maybe I will have more anxiety attacks than the average person, and maybe that will never change. But from this point forward, I will also always have the tools that I've developed to deal with those things. And that really makes all of the difference, knowing that there are tools, that there are things you can do, and that no emotion, no feeling lasts forever. Maybe it comes back, but it's not going to last forever, even when it does. The reason that I'm talking about this today is because here I am today. It's a beautiful day outside. You can see the breeze through my hair and the blue sky behind me. You can see how green this campus is. What you can't really see, or maybe you can, is how quiet it is as well. As bad as yesterday was, today has been equally as good. As overwrought as I was yesterday, I have mostly felt equally as calm today. Being here on a college campus makes my nervous system feel rested. I feel at peace today. Anytime I set foot on a college campus, I seem to feel at peace. There's something about this environment, maybe the way it's cultivated to be a space for freedom of thought and of learning, that just makes me happy and makes me feel like I belong. Even though this isn't my campus, I'm not a student, I still like this place. I'm glad to be here. I'm going to do a quick 3 Good Things speed run because I completely forgot to tell you any of my good things during the rest of the day. So first good thing, I got to spend the day on campus today, and college campuses are truly my happy place. 2, I woke up this morning to find out that my plumeria was blooming. I have had this plant for 3 years and it has never bloomed before, so it was really exciting to see that flower today. And 3, I discovered that now that I have an espresso maker, I can make affogatos. If you've never had an affogato, it is a scoop of gelato with a shot of espresso poured on top of it, and it is one of the most amazing desserts ever. So there you have it, my 3 good things. I actually ended up having a really good day today, even if it wasn't the self-care day that I might have chosen otherwise. So I'm going to let it stand there. I'm going to have leftovers for dinner. I had one of my favorite meals earlier this week and I am very excited to eat it again. And until next time, I am wishing you love and joy and all of those good things, because you deserve to be happy. Oh, also, tell me your 3 good things in the comments, and I can't wait to talk to you again.